Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon, hosting from Los Angeles, where I'm surrounded by sunshine and palm trees.
I'm Frank Isola. Los Angeles? Why did I come down to D.C.? What am I doing here?
Oops.
You're supposed to be right here.
Frank, there was a marine layer this morning. You spent time out here. I mean, there was gray in the sky from dawn until noon.
He's in beautiful L.A., and he's complaining.
Tough sledding.
You see that?
It's
cold in New York today. Then I came down here, it was also cold. So take that into
68
account.
Here, a little chilly. Welcome to PTI. Tony has the day off, so I am happy to be joined by our great friend who traveled all the way down from New York City to sit in the studio alone, Mr. Frank Isola.
Right here. I came here for all this.
See, you got to welcome. It was worth the trip. We're going to begin, sadly, with the end of the season for Juju Watkins. The Southern Cal star will miss the rest of the NCAA tournament after tearing the ACL in her right knee in the first quarter of last night's win over Mississippi State. Frank, where does this leave Southern Cal and the entire women's tournament, for that matter?
Yeah, it's certainly a devastating blow for the tournament, a big-time blow for USC as well. When you think about Juju Watkins, you turn on the TV, she's everywhere. Either you're watching her play, you're seeing highlights, she's in every commercial. She and Paige Beckers have become, the two faces of college basketball. I'd actually put Juju ahead of her just because it's LA, it's a much bigger market. For USC, it's going to be tough. Can they get to an Elite Eight where they would play UConn for the second straight year? Absolutely. But you can't tell me that it doesn't take a little bit away from the tournament. Maybe they would have played UCLA at some point, which has been a great rivalry already this season. I felt so badly for her going down. And I also think the way that the crowd treated Mississippi State, I mean, come on, folks. That was not a dirty play. It was unfortunate. Players get hurt all the time. It's a physical sport. I get the emotion of it. Absolutely. When you see this great player going down, you see it carried off the court. The reaction, in some ways, understandable, but it's not fair. The player, that was just a hard play, nothing dirty about it.
Frank, I'm glad you mentioned that. And as we mentioned, I'm here in Los Angeles. A short drive, you can walk, as you know, over to the building where that happened. And I was here a couple of weeks ago to watch Juju Watkins in person. It's thrilling.
Yep.
I mean, she is a star. Her stardom is bigger than just women's basketball. She's a star in Southern California. And to watch her play in person, I mean, there are people coming out from all over the place, coast to coast, to sit and watch her. So not just the tournament, but sports in general is lessened by her absence. And, given the time that she's suffered this injury in late March, you don't know how long. This has often been a year injury. What does that mean for next season?
That's
for
right.
Southern Cal? And I should mention that there is a player on Southern Cal's team. I'm not about to dismiss Southern Cal. And Kiki Iriafen, who is a star in her own right, who had like 36 points.
That's right.
I don't want to say in relief, because you know whose season is over, who doesn't have a chance to win, is Stanford, from where she transferred down to Southern Cal, because they're missing her. And she's another star in the making also. But Juju Watkins, a full-fledged star who you can see all over your airwaves and not just in the game. And I came out here 2 weeks ago, not on a work assignment. I just wanted to see her play, her among others. And so Kiki Rice and others in the Southern California scene of women's basketball. And so it's really disheartening today to be here and know you're not going to see her again this season. And we wish her all the best coming back from this. People do come back. Paige Beckers, who you mentioned, has come back from a serious leg injury. And so we hope the best. Sadly, it ain't going to be in the next couple of weeks.
1,700 points for her this season. It's the second most by a sophomore. Kelsey Mitchell has the most. And if Juju had played a couple more games, she's going to have the most points after 2 seasons of college basketball. Yeah. It's amazing, too, about USC kind of being back on the map, and they've become kind of this celebrity team. Because you and I know back in the 80s, when it was Cheryl Miller, the McGee sisters, Cynthia Cooper, the great teams they had. They haven't made the Final Four, USC, since 1986. They haven't won a national championship since '84. Like, we remember those dominant teams. It's been a while, and this team was certainly good enough. Now, they can get to a Final Four. Mike, whether or not they can win 4 games without that player.
Without her,
that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough.
Yeah, but there's going to be certainly a lot of energy behind them.
That's right.
I'm betting. Let's move to the latest plot twist with the Lakers and Mavericks. LA fell by 12 in Orlando, the Lakers' second straight loss since LeBron returned from that groin injury. And in Brooklyn, as you sat for to see yourself in person, Frank, Anthony Davis finally returned from his ab strain, and the Mavericks rolled over the Nets. So which, Frank, Lakers or AD's return is the bigger deal?
Well, it's going to be the Lakers just because they're 3-7 in their last 10 games, and in the 7 losses, what's happened to them defensively? They've lost those 7 games by an average of 15 points, almost 16 a game. Your Chicago Bulls and your guy Kobe White, they put up 81 in the second half. Last night, Orlando put up 60, and then J.J. Redick's talking after the game about how he looked tired, which you don't want to hear at this time of the year, especially with LeBron having missed the last 2 weeks. You think he'd be ready. One thing, though, about Anthony Davis, and I did get a chance to see him last night, at a time of the year, and you know the way March works in the NBA, you got guys missing games, they're resting for the playoffs. Nikola Jokic, I get that he's carrying an injury, but they're getting ready for April. Anthony Davis, what's the incentive to come back? And here's a guy that's taken a lot of criticism over the years. He came back and played last night where it doesn't look that good for Dallas to make the playoffs. But Nico Harrison was there last night. Jason Kidd, there's so much pressure on that organization. They wanted to win that game with Anthony Davis. So I give him credit for coming back. What it all means, can they get 10th place? I don't know. Being in the lottery might be better. But I thought it was interesting that he did come back at a time when so many players miss games.
Frank, I thought it was impressive. And I liked listening to Anthony Davis's comments afterward. And you could see it meant something to him. And he said that. He was very frank about it. I need to come back and be with these guys given everything that has gone down here. And Anthony Davis, as you know, we've been around Anthony Davis for years now, more than a decade. He's a nice guy anyway, from A to Z. His whole time we've seen him in public life. But I think that he's really impressive now because you're right, the incentive, he could take the easy way and say, you know what? Maybe we should be in the lottery. Maybe I shouldn't risk anything more. No, he didn't do that. And so I think the Mavericks could have some energy, some sympathetic energy behind them as they maybe try to get that 10th spot and get that play-in spot and wrestle it away from whoever's left, the Suns and
Sacramento.
Sacramento. But the Lakers are interesting because I did think it was going to take time for them to sort of rework LeBron back in there, even though he wasn't out for that long, Frank. I thought it was going to take time, and I know Luka's been great in that time, several games without him. But the Bulls, who have a thing going on that nobody cares about except Chicagoans, where they've won 8 out of 10, and you look at this threesome, and people they might know Kobe White. They have no idea what else is going on with our rookie whose name they can't pronounce, who I can barely pronounce, and Josh Giddey. And they crushed the Lakers. They smashed them. They embarrassed them. And so the question to me is this bigger than the Lakers just sort of needing to work LeBron back in? Is the ramp longer than that? Is it bumpier than that? Are there some potholes in this? Because all those teams are bunched, Frank, and it's hard to separate them. And what do the Lakers need and how long do they need before these playoffs start?